Greens at 1, Sylvain Dance 98, back at it again with another reaction. We're back at it again with another of the Power Rangers All Red Ranger reaction. We're going to check out the next of the 2000s Rangers. Looks like we're at Pokenger right now. So we're going to look at Boken Red, I believe. So let's check it out.
Next up is Satoru Akashi, who transforms into Boken Red from Bokenger. Satoru was once a legendary treasure hunter known as the Immortal Fang, but after a tragic expedition cost him the lives of his partners, he stepped away from that life. Eventually, he was recruited by SGS, the Search Guard Successor Foundation, an organization dedicated to finding and protecting dangerous treasures known as precious. From there, Satoru became Boken Red and the leader of the Bokengers, where they would take on missions around the world. Satoru is usually calm, cool, and collected. He's known as the fiery adventurer, but he can usually keep that fire in check, at least on the surface. Bokenger was the 30th Super Sentai season, and Satoru was front and center with a classic but polished leader style. He isn't just leading the team into battle, he's leading them into ruins, traps, ancient secrets, and dangerous discoveries that could change the world forever. Satoru's Power Rangers counterpart is Mac Hartford, the Red Overdrive Ranger from Power Rangers Operation Overdrive. Mac was the son of billionaire adventurer Andrew Hartford, who discovered the Corona Aurora and accidentally released Moltor and Furious. To stop them, Andrew recruited a team to fight back and originally planned to become the Red Ranger himself. But when Mac discovered what was going on, he wanted to join the mission too. After proving himself in battle, Mac became the Red Overdrive Ranger and took his father's place as the leader of the team. He starts out as a sheltered rich kid who dreams about adventure, then suddenly gets thrown into a global treasure hunt for the Corona Aurora jewels.
Kick into overdrive! Red Ranger!
The biggest twist with Mac is that eventually he learns he isn't Andrew's biological son at all. He's an android created by Andrew and programmed to believe that he was human. That makes Mac one of the strangest Red Rangers in Power Rangers history. His story is about identity, artificial life, and what it means to be human. That makes him extremely memorable.
No kidding. I mean, I never quite forgot the fact that Power Rangers Overdrive really didn't, tickle my fancy, I guess you could say. Like, the action was there, but the premise didn't really grab me. Also, I feel like I would have liked the Super Sentai version better, but that's just me.
Next, we look at one of the most unique Red Rangers ever with Aka Red. Unlike most of the Reds we've talked about so far, Aka Red doesn't really have a normal human alter ego. He's basically the living embodiment of the Red Ranger legacy up to this point. He first appeared during the Bokenger vs. Super Sentai Anniversary film, which brought together Rangers from the previous 30 years of the franchise. He has the ability to channel the powers and techniques of past Red Rangers, and in his debut, he uses forms and attacks connected to Rangers like Gao Red, Hurricane Red, Abba Red, Deca Red, and Magi Red, making him feel less like one specific hero and more like a walking tribute to the entire Red Ranger lineage. That role becomes even more important later in Gokaiger, where we learn that he's connected to Captain Marvelous, where he sets Marvelous on the path that eventually leads him to become Gokai Red. Aka Red showed that Sentai had become self-aware about just how iconic the Red Ranger had become over the years.
Okay.
Next up is Jan Kandao, who becomes Geki Red from Geki Ranger. Jan was wild and feral after being raised in a forest away from normal society. Because of that, he didn't really understand the world the same way everyone else did, but he had strong natural instincts, a connection to animals, and a fighting spirit. After being discovered by the Geki Jukin school, Jan was brought under the guidance of Master Shafu and became Geki Red, fighting against the Rinjukin Akugata.
Shifu or Shafu? Wait a minute here.
His fighting style is based around Geki Ju Tigerkin, which fits him perfectly because he fights with tons of energy and the instincts of a wild tiger. He uses strange words and sound effects to describe his feelings, which makes him seem goofy at first, but it shows that he sees the world in a different way from most people. He doesn't really understand social norms, but he understands courage, friendship, and the animal spirit. After so many Reds who were professionals or chosen warriors, Jan feels like something much more primal. Geki Ranger is all about training the body, heart, and mind, and Jan represents that idea more than anyone. He's not the most traditional Red Ranger, but that's what makes him stand out.
The strength of a tiger! Red Ranger!
Next up is Casey Rhodes, better known as the Red Jungle Fury Ranger from Power Rangers Jungle Fury. Casey was a new student at a secret kung fu school built around animal spirits. When Jared was bullying another student, Casey stood up to him, showing the courage and compassion that Master Mao was looking for. After Daishi was released and Master Mao was destroyed, Casey, Theo, and Lily were sent to Ocean Bluff to find their new master, RJ. From there, Casey was given a morpher and became the Red Jungle Fury Ranger. He isn't the most experienced fighter on the team, and he definitely doesn't start as the obvious leader. Theo and Lily have more training, while Casey is still learning the basics. But what makes him worthy of being Red isn't raw skill, it's his heart. He stands up for people who are being bullied, and he has a natural heroic instinct even before he becomes a Ranger. Casey was kind, determined, and sometimes insecure. He knows he has a lot to prove, and that makes his journey feel more like a real student becoming a master over time. Over the season, he grows from the inexperienced newcomer of the team into a confident warrior who can stand on his own. Casey's story is all about growth, humility, and learning that true strength isn't just about fighting ability. It's about compassion, discipline, and having the courage to protect others. Our next ranger is Sosuke Esumi, better known as Go on Red from Go Onger. Sosuke was a former race car driver known as the Speed King. When the Gaiart clan began threatening Earth from the machine world, Sosuke was chosen by the Engine Speedor to be—
I'm not be speaking much because honestly, I have not seen the backstories of many of these later seasons because at this point I was busy with, I was entering middle school, so I didn't really have much time for enjoying some Power Rangers stuff. I watched an episode here or there, so I at least knew about the seasons, but yeah, I wasn't really having the time for that. I was like trying to navigate my addiction to book reading, my need for homework loads, my need for trying to navigate middle school, drama, relationships, growth, all that good teenage stuff. It was a mess. It was a big mess. I am embarrassed now that I look back on it with my adult mind and views. Yeesh. But still, here I am, and we're reacting now. But yeah, I'm trying to remember most of these guys as I'm just watching right now. I'm just like, just enjoying the show, as it were. I just I'm zoned in. That's why you don't see me reacting right now. Like, technically I'm reacting. I'm just more of like processing, like, hey, that's interesting. Hey, that's interesting. Hey, I never knew that. Hey, I never knew that type thing. So, but if I did that out loud, you'd probably get bored and just think I'm on the loop.
Come Go on Red, leading the Go Ongers in their fight to protect the human world. Go on Red takes the Red Ranger archetype and turns the energy way up. He's loud, confident, stubborn, and he almost never doubts himself.
Oh yeah, and this is the one with the cars with the eyeballs.
His entire personality is built around speed, momentum, and believing that things can work out if you just charge forward hard enough. He leads less through careful strategy and more through raw optimism. He believes in his teammates, and he refuses to back down even when the odds are stacked against him. That makes him a different kind of Red from some of the more serious leaders of the 2000s. Go Onger pushed Sentai into a much louder and more comedic direction. Sosuke fits that tone perfectly. He's a racing-themed Red Ranger whose whole identity is about being loud, enthusiastic, and inspiring enough to keep the team moving forward. Next up is Scott Truman, or Ranger Operator Series Red from Power Rangers RPM. Scott was a military pilot and the younger son of Colonel Mason Truman, the leader of Corinth's defense team. Before becoming a Ranger, Scott flew under the call sign Eagle 2 alongside his older brother Marcus, who was Eagle 1. But during the war against Venjix, Marcus was shot down, and Scott barely made it into the domed city of Corinth before the gates closed. After that, Scott became Ranger Operator Series Red and led the
You don't scratch up the car. He's like, ooh, this is gonna be your death.
PM Rangers in the fight to protect the last surviving human city on Earth. Scott was the Red Ranger in one of the darkest settings Power Rangers ever had. He's defending what's basically the last safe place on the planet after Venjix has already decimated almost everywhere else. That gives him a heavy sense of responsibility. He lives in the shadow of his older brother Marcus, and he also struggles with his father, Colonel Truman, who oftentimes treats him more like a soldier than a son. RPM completely reimagined what a Power Rangers season could be. The post-apocalyptic setting, the dark tone, and the war against Venjix all make Scott feel different from the Reds that came before him. He was a leader in a broken world, a survivor that was humanity's last line of defense.
Dang. Now, that's a lot more pressure than you'd think. Like, that kind of reminds me of the, what was it, Final Fantasy Spirits Within movie. Dang. Only they didn't have Power Rangers there, they had men in suits with guns, so. Tomato.
Next up is Takeru Shiba, better known as Shinken Red, a legendary Red Ranger from Shinkenger. Takeru was raised as the 18th head of the Shiba clan, a samurai bloodline that had fought the Gadoshu for generations. From childhood, he was trained to carry the burden of the Shiba family and master the Mojikara needed to seal away Dokoku. When the Gadoshu returned, Takeru gathered his retainers and became Shinken Red, leading the Shinkengers into battle as their lord. That structure gives his leadership a different feeling from a normal team captain. There's more tradition and pressure built into the role. Takeru was serious, disciplined, and emotionally guarded. A lot of the time, he comes across as cold or harsh, but a lot of that is because he's carrying a responsibility he never really got to choose. He was raised to believe that his life existed for one purpose, defeating the Gadoshu and protecting the world. That makes him feel like one of the heavier Red Rangers because his strength comes with isolation. Shinken Red is
Why does he have the bear ear cover thing on his helmet? Nope, not approaching that with 10-foot pole at the moment.
easily one of the most iconic modern Red Rangers. He takes the classic leader role and gives it a specific cultural identity through samurai hierarchy, family obligation, and the lord and retainer dynamic. Takeru's story brings him full circle, where we find out that his sister was the true heir to the Shiba clan all along.
Yep, and there she is, second Shinkenger Red. Or Shinken Red.
Eventually, Shinkenger introduces us to Kaoru Shiba, better known as Princess Shinken Red. Kaoru was the true 18th head of the Shiba clan, but for most of the series, she stayed hidden while Takeru acted in her place. Because Kaoru possessed the knowledge to seal Dokoku away, the Shiba clan needed to keep her safe until the time came to use that power. When she finally appeared, she revealed that Takeru was not actually the true lord of the Shiba clan, and she took her rightful place as Shinken Red. When Kaoru arrived, she completely changed the way we look at Takeru's role in the season. Up until her reveal, Takeru seemed like the destined samurai lord carrying the full weight of the Shiba bloodline, but Kaoru's arrival reveals that Takeru's identity was built around protecting her secret. That makes her one of the most important late-game rangers in Sentai, because her existence recontextualizes the entire team dynamic.
And dang, they really are treating her like a samurai princess right now.
Kaoru was serious, graceful, and focused on her duty. She was raised away from the rest of the team to master the power that could seal away Dokoku. Because of that, she doesn't have the same emotional bond with the retainers that Takeru does. She has the bloodline, the title, and the authority, but Takeru is the one who has actually fought beside the team and earned their trust over time. She's one of the most significant female rangers in Super Sentai history. She's the legitimate head of the Shiba clan and the rightful Shinken Red by bloodline. Despite that,
even the little gotta make sure it's dust free.
Takeru is the Red that the team went to war with, and that tension makes her one of the most interesting Red Rangers in the entire franchise.
Samurai Ranger, fire!
Oh yeah, Samurai Ranger.
Flying folding Zord!
Power Rangers Samurai featured Jaden Shiba, the Red Samurai Ranger. Jaden was a descendant of the Shiba clan and was raised from childhood by Mentor G after his father's final battle against Master Xandred. Because of his bloodline, Jaden was trained in the ancient ways of the Samurai Rangers, learning symbol power, swordsmanship, and the responsibility of leading the team against the Nilox. When Xandred and his forces returned, Jaden gathered the other Samurai Rangers and became the Red Ranger, leading the fight to protect the world.
Shogun mode! Power of the ancestors!
Jaden was calm, guarded, and disciplined. He kept people at a distance for a while because he believed that the mission matters more than his own happiness. That makes him feel similar to Takeru from Shinkenger, but Power Rangers leans even harder into the lonely burden of leadership. On the surface, Jaden seemed like a pretty traditional Red Ranger, but underneath that, he was carrying a massive secret, much like Takeru.
Who are you? She's my big sister.
Power Rangers Samurai eventually introduced us to Lauren Shiba, the second Red Samurai Ranger. Her story was almost one-to-one with Takeru and Kaoru's story. Lauren was Jaden's older sister and the true head of the Shiba clan, making her the rightful Red Ranger. While Jaden was raised to lead the team in public, Lauren was kept hidden so she could master the sealing symbol that could defeat Master Xandred. To protect that secret, Jaden acted as a decoy until Lauren was finally ready to return. Lauren completely changes the way we look at Jaden. For most of the season, Jaden seems like the chosen Red Ranger carrying the full weight of the Shiba legacy. But once Lauren arrives, we learn that Jaden's entire mission was built around protecting her identity. She wasn't just another Ranger showing up late in the story, she was the actual heir that the villains were never supposed to know about. She has the authority, the bloodline, and the sealing power, but she doesn't have the same bond with the team that Jaden built over time, which creates conflict on the show, because Lauren is technically the true Red Ranger, but Jaden is the one the teams followed, trusted, and fought with since the beginning.
Dang, this is pretty much a one-for-one beat. Sheesh. What year is this one?
Next up is
2010. Alright, so that means we're in the official 2010s Ranger. So we'll end it here for now. Hope you guys are enjoying this. I certainly am. Looking forward to seeing more of it. And man, I tell you what, Power Rangers Samurai. What turned me off from it is the fact that the comedy is a bit too juvenile, a bit too childish for me. Because by this time I was like beginning high school, so you know, not exactly the best time to enjoy some remade Bulk and Skull comedy that they updated. loosely updated, I should say. Oh. Anyway, yeah, that really got me from enjoying it fully. The comedy was kind of but the action was still pretty good. I saw some clips here and there, and yeah, I admit I might have jumped the gun in hating it immediately, but with the introduction being the clip of the Bulk and Skull remake, yeah, I wasn't really liking it. But hopefully you guys are going to look forward to it as I'm going to give it another shot. See if I enjoy it more now that I've had a chance to know the backstory and what it would lead to eventually. See if it'll change my understanding, if you would. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm looking forward to seeing more of it with you guys. But for now, this will be the end of this part of every Red Ranger ever in the 50+ year history. In the meantime, we're going to get over to the next of the Doomslayer videos to see what he's fighting next. You guys take care. I'll see you in that video. Bye!